You know that feeling when someone tags you in a photo and your first instinct isn't to like it? It's to immediately untag yourself and pretend it never happened?
It's Psychology Unfolded, where we decode what makes you you.
While your friends are posting their morning coffee, their gym selfies, their deep thoughts at 2 a.m., you're over here treating your social media account like a witness protection program. Zero posts, zero stories, just you, silently watching everyone else perform their lives like it's a full-time job. And guess what? There's actual neuroscience behind why you'd rather delete your entire digital existence than share one photo of your lunch. Stay with me, because what's happening in your brain is way more interesting than anything you'd ever post. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Not posting on social media doesn't make you antisocial. It doesn't mean you're hiding something. And it definitely doesn't mean you're boring. But there is something fundamentally different happening in your brain compared to the people who post 17 times a day and need constant validation from strangers. So today, we're diving into the psychology of people who treat social media like a spectator sport. Because trust me, your silence is saying more than you think. Let's start with the most obvious question. Why does the idea of posting anything, literally anything, feel like you're about to walk naked into a crowded room? And I mean that visceral, stomach-dropping, absolutely not reaction when someone suggests you should post more. Here's what's actually happening in your brain. When most people post on social media, their brain releases dopamine. That's the reward chemical, the one that makes you feel good. They share a photo, they get likes, comments, validation, dopamine party. But your brain? Cricket sounds. Your dopamine system isn't wired to find external validation rewarding in the same way. Instead, you might actually get a dopamine hit from not posting, from maintaining your privacy, from keeping parts of your life sacred and unseen. It's like everyone else is at a party screaming for attention, and you're in the corner thinking, why would I voluntarily participate in this chaos? Research from the Oxford Internet Institute found that people who rarely post online often have what's called an internal locus of control. Translation? You don't need other people's approval to feel good about yourself. Your self-worth isn't dependent on likes, shares, or comments. You're deriving value from internal sources, your own judgment, your own standards, your own quiet confidence. And here's where it gets really interesting. For people who post constantly, social media becomes a form of existential documentation. If I didn't post it, did it even happen? But you? You understand something profound. Experiences don't need an audience to be real. That sunset was beautiful, whether or not you Instagrammed it. That meal was delicious without a food blogger caption. Your life is valid without constant digital proof. Psychologists call this experience-oriented versus performance-oriented living. Most people are performing their lives for an invisible audience. You're actually living yours. Wild, right? Now, let's talk about something that hits different for a lot of non-posters: the fear of judgment. And before you say, I don't care what people think, let's be honest, you do. You just care differently. See, people who post all the time have made peace with judgment. They've decided the validation outweighs the criticism. They've accepted that some people will judge, and they're okay with that trade-off. But your brain? Your brain runs a completely different calculation. Every time you even think about posting, your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making and social evaluation, goes into overdrive. It's not just, should I post this? It's, who will see this? What will they think? What does this say about me? Is this authentic? Is this performative? Am I trying too hard? Am I being narcissistic? Your brain is running a full psychological audit before you even select a filter. And here's the kicker. Research shows that people with high self-awareness and high emotional intelligence are actually less likely to post frequently. Why? Because they're acutely aware of how they're perceived, how their content might be interpreted, how it fits into the larger narrative of their identity.
They're not oblivious to social dynamics. They're hyper-attuned to them. And that awareness creates paralysis. It's like being a chess player in a room full of people playing checkers. You're thinking 17 moves ahead, while everyone else is just vibing. But there's something deeper here, something nobody wants to admit. For some people, not posting is about control. In a world where everything feels chaotic, where your privacy is constantly invaded, where your data is bought and sold, where AI is probably using your face to train some algorithm, not posting becomes the one thing you can control. Your digital footprint, your narrative, your mystery. Psychologists call this autonomy preservation. You're protecting your right to exist without documentation, without commentary, without becoming content. And honestly, in 2025, that's basically a revolutionary act. Here's something that'll mess with your head. People who don't post aren't less social. They're differently social. Studies show that non-posters often have deeper, more meaningful offline relationships. They're not spreading their social energy across 500 acquaintances online. They're concentrating it on 5 to 10 people who actually matter. Quality over quantity. Revolutionary concept, I know. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, the comparison trap. Every time you scroll, you're bombarding your brain with everyone's highlight reel. The vacations, the promotions, the perfect relationships, the aesthetic lives. And here's what your brain does differently. Instead of thinking, I should post my highlight reel too, you think, this all feels fake. Research from Stanford University found that people who rarely post score significantly higher in authenticity measures. You'd rather post nothing than post something that doesn't feel genuine. And in a world of filtered perfection, that's actually incredibly healthy. Now here's the part that explains everything. Your relationship with attention is fundamentally different. Most people crave attention. Their dopamine systems light up when they're noticed, validated, seen. You're allergic to it. Being the center of attention doesn't feel rewarding. It feels exposing, vulnerable, uncomfortable. Psychologists call this low need for social validation. Your self-concept isn't dependent on external feedback. And that's not a weakness. That's emotional independence. So what does all this mean? If you never post on social media, you're not missing out. You're opting out. You're choosing depth over breadth, privacy over performance, authenticity over approval. While everyone else is building their personal brand, you're just living. And honestly, that might be the most radical thing you can do in 2025. Your silence isn't absence, it's presence. Real, unfiltered, undocumented presence. You're not broken. You're not antisocial. You're just refusing to turn your life into content. And that's actually pretty powerful. So next time someone asks why you never post anything, you can tell them the truth. You're too busy living your life to perform it. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below. Are you team silent observer or team post everything? Let's find our people. And if you want to understand more about why your brain works differently, the next video breaks down why some people can't stand small talk. I'll see you there.